Ducks fans, are you ready? You are listening to the Ducks and Pucks podcast. This is the #1 home for Anaheim Ducks talk and analysis. Here we go.
Welcome to the show. The show is Mike Walters, along with my co-host Eddie Richard, and we have another, let's just say passionate show. Last show we got pretty fired up about some things about the league and the refs, especially a couple of those games against the Penguins. We were pretty animated and fired up, and I don't know, there might have been like a goal called back against the Ducks. We might be kind of fired up about that. There's some updates on Zegras and Drysdale we're going to talk about. Some of the games as well that we'll catch up with, but a lot of craziness with the Ducks that we're gonna dive into. But Eddie, how you doing? I know you took your trip to Colorado and you had a good time, right?
Beautiful, I loved it. Colorado was amazing. We got scolded by my buddy's wife because we're playing hockey, ball hockey in his basement at 4:30 in the morning, making a bunch of noise. It was like a full check, 100% serious game, but it's good. My best friend, Adam Kabolski, I met him playing hockey. He's a really cool guy, down to earth. He's so positive. I got to hang out with his 2 dogs, too, so that made me happy. His dogs are full of energy, but they're really good people, so I'm glad they had me over and hosted me for the weekend. It just was something that I can get my mind off of like normal reality and work, so I can't even express how much I'm grateful to have friends like that. And it was a really, really good trip. My flights too, I didn't really sit next to people that were really weird. I got like decent people sitting next to, so that was kind of awesome. You know what's funny, Mike? I was actually booked my ticket thinking I was flying out Friday, coming back Sunday night or whatever. But it was actually Thursday through Monday. I screwed up my whole ticket, my whole flight thing, and it was just like whatever. But the extra day to not flying out, it worked out perfectly. He brought my work stuff, so I didn't miss work. I was working from there on Monday, and we just hung out. So really great, really good time. I'm glad I got that time to go. Colorado, if we have fans in Colorado, listen, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love Colorado. Coloradians, if you want to call them. I forgot how do you say it, but yeah, you guys are awesome, and I love you guys. Mike, most important question. You know what I'm going to ask. So go ahead and answer it before I even ask.
You know what? I tried something new this week to drink. I found this at the store, and it's Jack and Coke, and it's actually already in the can, ready to go. And it's amazing. I already had a couple before the show. I don't know if you've seen those Jack and Coke, already ready to go, pre-mixed. I was running a bunch of errands before the game against Florida. And I was like, I do my normal, we always talk about Red Bull vodka, but I saw this Jack and Coke in the can. I was like, I'm going to try it. So today I tried it, and I was like, wow, it's pretty good. So I had a few of those, and I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm a little annoyed, and I don't know why, but we'll talk about it later when we get into these games. But that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
Mike, you can answer that question. Come on. What am I drinking?
Pink Whitney
and
Mango Cart.
Oh, that actually sounds really good. No, I'm gonna get Happy Dad. Happy Dad seltzer.
There you go.
It's called the Big Papa. So, Mike, this should be your drink. It's a fruit punch one. But yeah, I'm a little pissed off too. Before we get into the show, I'm really pissed off, Mike. So
why? What's up?
I go to AAA, pay my registration, $614. Ouch. It's like, what the hell? Why is it so expensive over here? And I was so busy this month. I was going to register my car to my mom's address in Arizona. It's like $78 for like 5 years or something like that. I was going to do that. But nope, I procrastinated. I waited to the last minute, and I didn't want my registration to expire because it's, you pay more money, and I don't want to waste a police officer's job. He pulls me over just for registration. It takes away from him doing his job and stopping everyone else. So $614. That's just insanely nuts how expensive it is. So that rant is over. I'll save the rest of my rant for when we talk about the Florida game.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. The California DMV, man. Talk about legalized theft.
No lube, Mike. No lube.
Seriously, dude, just take it, dude. Take it. I know. It was horrible, dude. One thing that got a little better for you and me, though, is Friday nights at the Ducks games now. They have $5 beers, hot dogs, popcorn, and a whole bunch of other things if you're a season ticket holder or Orange Alliance member. So the last couple Fridays that we went, we got stuff, and it was $5. So they went back to the, quote, 1993 prices. So I'm happy that the Ducks did that. They're going to do it this season. I don't know if they're going to do it next season.
No,
but it was not. Yeah, they probably won't, but they're doing it for the 30th anniversary season on Friday nights. So that's kind of good because you and I are going to go on the 29th of December, right? We're sitting down by the benches. So we're going to get $5 beers when we go there, and we can drink 3 or 4 of those instead of spending, $40-$50 on 4 or 5.
Oh, my God. I want to thank Ruth. Ruth, thank you for selling us the tickets, or selling us tickets and giving us a really great price on it. Thank you so much. I'm being patient. I know our schedules are kind of crazy, and we couldn't really give you a specific date, but thank you for accommodating us. And $5 beer nights. I don't know. I think Ruth might be like, let me take those tickets back and not give them to the $5 beer nights for both of us. But no, we're going to have a good time. It's going to be something, a good experience and everything. And I'm glad I get to share that with you. And thank you again, Ruth. Hopefully next time at a game we can see you. We can both buy you a couple drinks or a few drinks for hooking us up with some great value tickets. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw her at the Legacy night, which I'll talk about that too in a little bit when we talk about the Ducks Sharks game as well. So definitely appreciate it, and yes, we'll have a good time. So let's just kind of dive into what's happened in the last week or so since we did our last show. The Ducks playing some games at home, a short road trip, and they're back at home now. It's kind of frustrating. They lost to Philadelphia at home. 6-3. You remember they had beaten them. We had talked about the last show about the Saturday game and how they lose those Saturday games to Philly. So I was excited to go to this game. I thought, oh man, okay, we got Philly. We're going to take them down, whatever. And no, we lost. They actually did not play well in this game, except for some guy named Leo Carlsson who, only had a hat trick in this game.
Oh, that's it?
Huh?
That's it? He just scored 3 goals? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he almost had 4. In this game too. I mean, he could have had more. He also got hurt in the game, and I don't know if I posted this on social media, but he took a slap shot off like his ankle foot area, went to the bench. He did not sit down for a long period of time in the beginning of the third period, and I was like, oh man, is he gonna go locker room? And he didn't. And then he came back out and he got 2 more goals, and he got that hat trick, even though the Ducks lost. And it was bad that they lost, good that he won, and he is the youngest player in franchise history to score a hat trick. 18 years old and 319 days. Crazy. So, overall not a great game for the Ducks, but really excited to see Carlsson and the way he's developing and playing. He's been such a bright spot for the Ducks this season, Eddie.
Yeah, he's a really talented player. He belongs in the NHL. He did not have to go down at all. Yes, it's growing pains. It's going to happen next season, the sophomore season, when players are more adapted to him and know his capability. They're going to play harder against him, but I think he's going to be fine. It is a great pick. I know fans were pissed off about Fantilli not being picked second, but I think the Ducks got a gem in this one. He's going to be a great player, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he has. We're watching him grow. And we're watching a potential superstar, and that's something special for the Ducks. And him getting the hat trick was just the icing on the cake for him to get that motivation up, to get him fired up. I still don't agree with what they're doing, this whole load management thing and how they're having him go to the gym or whatever the hell they're doing when he's off. He needs to be playing. He wants to play. His agent, I'm sure, wants him to play. There's nothing that says in my mind that the player and agent are on board with how the Ducks want to do this. It's just... he's ready to go. He's ready to do it. He looks good out there. I can't even tell he's a rookie when I see him play. It's just I can't even tell. If I'm not looking at the numbers or I'm too drunk and I'm blurred out to see the numbers, I can't even tell he's a rookie. Just the way he plays. He's so strong. He said he wanted to work on his stride, but he looks pretty damn good to me when he goes out there on the ice. So I'm really glad we got him. And I think he's going to be in the running for the Calder, a top 5, or if not, maybe the top 3. You have Minty breathing down. Minty is just something unbelievable. He's just a freak of nature, and I can't even talk. I can't even talk enough about how he does even things that aren't on the score sheet and the scoreboard. Just how he back checks and gets to the point. He's so fast. I can't believe how fast. And we'll talk about that more in the Florida game because his back checking just. He creates things, and it seems like when Minty plays too, he makes everything around him better. And I think Carlson's going to be the same player, like the way he is. He's just going to make other players around him better and produce a lot more points. So I'm looking forward to watching him just grow and get comfortable in the NHL.
Yeah, and I'm with you on the development plan. It's been kind of whatever. They have been playing him more lately, depending on how many games per week, right? He's supposed to play 2 games per week. So it seems like they kind of loosened it a little bit. So maybe, the next month, right, coming into December, we'll see him play a lot more. One thing I did crack up about was that game against Philly was the veteran night, and they gave away boonie hats. So when he scored the hat trick, all these boonie hats got thrown on the ice. It was just Comedy Central to me that you had a hat night and you got a hat trick. I mean, the only thing better would have been obviously the Ducks winning that game, but I just thought that was ironic. And I've now seen 3 hat tricks in person. I've seen Terry, Vetrano, and Carlsson this season. I've been to almost every single home game. And it's just been crazy. It's been fun to watch them play. It probably wasn't their best game, but to see Carlsson in action, he's doing great. I think he's going to keep on rolling. There's some stuff, I'll talk about maybe a little bit later in the show, but there's some chemistry issues that the Ducks got to figure out with injuries and whatnot. But he's fit in, like Eddie talked about. He's playing well. I mean, yes, he's scoring offensively, but his overall game, he's smart with the puck. He's playing good defensively. He does not look like a rookie. He really fits in with the style of play with the Ducks, and I'm just really excited to see where he can go. Keep on going this season, and like Eddie talked about too with Minty. Minty's been playing well. He's had a couple of near misses on goals, and then they turned into assists because other players have scored. Again, another guy playing, great two-way game as well. And the Ducks ended up losing this game, but then they had the really. Yeah, you got something, Eddie?
Yeah, I just wanted to just give a shout out to all my brothers and sisters that are veterans. For the Veterans Day that just passed, thank you for your service. Past, present, and future. I know myself, I was in the Army. I know it's not easy and it's hard, so I just wanted to give a shout out and show some love to you guys, especially listening to the show. Thank you for your service, even though I'm your brother and sister, in that same thing. But, Mike, what pissed me off, and I posted on Twitter, and it just pissed me off that I saw a lot of veterans that were commenting on Ducks pages that wanted the hat, and then people are trying to charge them for it and stuff like that. I think that was absolutely bullshit. Like, if I were at the game and I got the extra, I wouldn't wear the hat, but if I had knew a veteran or something, I would just give it to him for free. Like, why are you going to charge him for that? That's what bothers me, Mike. I don't know, like, how you feel about this, but, like, when you get free giveaways, people are trying to profit off that. I think that's just kind of like, and I'm sorry if I'm disrespecting people that do that. I get it. You paid for the ticket and you can do what you want with your stuff, but I think it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, I just have a thing with that, especially on veterans, that veterans game. Like, I don't know. Just, that's my thing. But, yeah, not to take away from it, thank you to all the veterans out there. Just keep staying up. And if you ever need anything, you can always message me, Argonzo444. You can message Mike. You can talk to us. I understand how hard it is, especially when you first get out, how extremely hard it is. But I'm here for you. We're here for you. So I want to throw it out there before we talk about the next game.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's a good point. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Anybody, obviously you being a veteran, me having a bunch of people in my family that have been veterans as well. So anybody out there, thank you for your service. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm with you on the whole giveaway thing. What a lot of people were doing in the past is they would exit the games and they would do the giveaways and they would keep going in and out of the exits and grab a bunch of stuff, and then of course you would see it on eBay. So I had actually talked to the Ducks about this, and I told them that you need to start giving away the stuff at the beginning of the games. And that's what they did. They gave away the hats at the beginning of the game, and this game against the Sharks that we'll talk about here now. On the Legacy night, they gave away the Korea bobblehead when you walk in too. So because once you walk in, you get your seat and you scan in. That's it. You can't. These people that are running around, what they're doing is they're going to one exit, grabbing the item. They don't go outside. They run to another exit and grab an item. They just go to a bunch of different exits, and that's what they're doing. So now you get it when you walk in, and that's it. You can't, if you're going to run outside, they're not going to let you back in. So, I'm glad that the Ducks have done that because they've started to limit that. But like what Eddie said, there's still people out there that, they're going to go in there, and if you've got a group of 4, you're going to keep 1 or 2 and sell the others. I mean, it is what it is. I usually give away a lot of those things. Either we do giveaways on Instagram a lot, sometimes Facebook, or I just, there's friends of mine that hit me up like, hey, did you go to the game? Can I get one? And I don't charge anybody. I just give it to whoever. I've got a lot of extra stuff that we do. So, and it is unfortunate, like Eddie said too, because with that specific event, those hats are for it's a veteran event, so that's even worse. But some people want to make a buck, so I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately. But the Ducks did then play the Sharks, who've just sucked royally this year, and they had their Legacy night. And I wanted to talk about this because the Legacy night thing is a good thing if you can do it. If you have tickets, you can buy tickets to the Legacy night events. And there was 3 of them. There's already been the one. Obviously, there's another one in January and then another one a little bit after. I think it's February or March. But you can buy either individual tickets, like game tickets, and then the Legacy event ticket. Or if you have game tickets, you can buy them separate. And the Ducks have been posting all that, which was really cool on this game against the Sharks. Got to go in there. Solani, Korea, and Guy Hebert were there. I got Solani to sign my jersey, which was cool. The logistics was a little bit of a nightmare. The old Shock Top, as you guys know, it's now the Brewery X Beer Garden. They have people walk in there, and it was 2.5 hours before the game, but you have to go up this escalator to get up there by the Wild Wing statue, and they had one metal detector. So it took like 30-35 minutes to get in. And then it's just kind of a disarray in there. You kind of get in line for Guy, Korea, or Solani to try and get stuff signed, and it's a little bit of a nightmare. So I know a lot of people weren't happy about that. I saw some people there, including Ruth, and other people that I know, and I know that their voices were really made to the Ducks organization. So I'm hoping it's better the next 2 times. But if you do get those tickets and you're able to go early, get in line. They take photos. They'll autograph jerseys or shirts or whatever. There's no restriction on that. I ended up buying it for all 3 games because if you're a season ticket holder, talk to your ticket rep. You get a little bit more of a discount on the tickets. So that's another thing. If you're interested, I don't know if it's sold out for the other 2 or not because there was hundreds of people at this last one. I was surprised. They packed that beer garden. It was crazy. But you also get free appetizers and free drinks. So when I stood in line for Solani, you know what I did, Eddie? I sent the missus to go get the drinks. I had to multitask. But I know, Eddie, you're looking at maybe going to that one in January. When
I'm going for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a blast, dude. You bring whatever. I'd never seen Korea in person. I didn't get a chance to take a photo with him, which I was kind of bummed, but I'm going to try and do that the next time, Eddie. But I just want to give this information out there because I don't really see a lot of this info. I honestly found out about it last minute and bought a ticket like the day or 2 before the deadline. I didn't even really know the details about it. And I'm bad at checking emails. I really am. So like my ticket lady, she's awesome. She actually emailed me and I forgot about it. But I had seen a post that the Ducks made, and I hit her up. So if you get to partake in it, I highly recommend it, even if you can only go to 1 game, because they had other alumni there too. I don't know who's all going to be there at the next 2 games, but I'm assuming Tamu and Korea and Guy will be there again. So it's a great experience, Eddie.
Thinking Jagir might make an appearance. He has to. I mean, it's like his jersey should be retired for the Ducks. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be one. But yeah, Mike, I wanted to go. So when I saw that, I never met Korea in my life, and Korea was really an instrumental part of my life that made me love the Ducks. Him and Solani, and I got to meet Solani numerous times. I'm really fortunate. Sonny's like an angel from Earth. Like, he's just the perfect person, the perfect professional athlete that you ever want. He's always awesome. Like, no matter what, like, he makes you feel like he gives you his undivided attention. Especially when I went to his restaurant, when I asked him, I felt bad for bothering him. He was out there socializing, and it's just like, hey, when I walked up to him for his restaurant, I was like, hey, can I just say hi? He's like, oh yeah, give me a second. And I thought he was just busy. He wasn't going to come. He comes back to my table, and he talks to me for about 20 minutes. It was awesome. And Mike, I told the story before, but it was funny because when I was at that restaurant, I had a knee brace on. I blocked the shot playing my little beer rec league hockey, so my knee was busted. So Sonny asked me about that. He's like, what happened to your knee? I blocked the shot. He's like, are you a goalie? I'm like, no, I was just trying to block a shot for my goalie. He goes, you're a fucking idiot. Don't block shots. You're not a goalie. I'm like, what the hell? He's Sonny. And I was like, all right. But, he was cool. I tried to buy him a drink, and he's like, well, you can, but he's like, I kind of own the restaurant. I'm like, oh. But, yeah, I really wanted to go to that night. It's just I was in Colorado, but I'm looking forward to going to the one in January, Mike. I'm sure you and I will meet up. I'll probably just go to your house and kind of go with you guys for that. I kind of invited myself, but oh well. Mike, we're brothers, so I can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think meeting Korea is gonna be really cool. I don't care about autograph or I don't even care. I want a picture. I don't care. I just want to shake his hand and tell him thank you for just changing my life. Like, watching him and Solani just really changed my life and got me into hockey. And like, I could have been one of those piece of shit kids in high school or doing stupid crap, but no, I wanted to play hockey. And I went to games, went to practices, and I really devoted myself into hockey. And I met so many great people in hockey, including you, Mike. And I think I owe all that to Solani and Korea. That first got me into that, and then Patrick Wall too. And a few years after that, I started like watching Patrick Wall and really loving his play. So it's gonna be fun. So I'm looking forward to the next Legacy night. That's gonna be awesome. So I'm not a big bobblehead collector. I know Solani's they're gonna give Solani's bobblehead away, but so I'll probably just give it away on DucksNPucks, and whoever wants it, hopefully I can try to get it signed. I get in there and they give it to me first and get it signed by Solani, so we can give that away. But regardless, I'll just give that bobblehead away on DucksNPucks.
Yeah, the Solani too. Like, man, I got lucky with him signing my jersey because by the time I got up to him in the line, they started a Q&A session, which I wrote an article on that. I kind of talked about, what they thought about the team, and they shared some memories on there. There's a lot of good stuff on there, and Korea and Solani are really, really big on the team and how they're playing and what the future holds for them. But I got up to the line and I got cut off, and then they did that Q&A, and then afterwards, everybody just kind of mobbed around Solani, and he just luckily was just signing everybody really, signing their jerseys and the shirts and whatever they had really quick, and he signed my jersey on my back because he had to go do the pregame. And they were trying to get him like, hey, Solani, we gotta go. Hey, we gotta go. And he's just sitting there signing everybody's stuff. He's just.
He mentioned that on, I guess they had the Duck Stream, that YouTube thing, and yes. Solani walked in late because he was signing all the autographs. But that's the kind of guy Solani is. Solani is, I said, he is the best professional athlete and one of the best persons in the whole entire world. He gives a shit and cares. Yeah, Solani is one of those people. He cares, and he really cares about his fans. Like, he has a good heart. Like, I think he has like one of the biggest hearts in the world, and I can't believe he's a professional athlete.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what he did. He hung out there and had everybody sign all their stuff. It was amazing. On to the game. The Ducks, they took down the Sharks. They beat them 4-1. The Sharks have had, just a horrendous season. We saw Vetrano get a couple goals in this one, which was good. He hadn't scored in a few games, so you saw him pot a couple. You had an airmail special by Gudis. He had a point shot that was blocked that flew in over the goalie. Also, the Ducks have been picking up on their fights, too, lately. You had Carrick and Jones getting in fights, and the Ducks really took it to the Sharks. So, overall, a good game. I mean, they should have beat the Sharks. The Sharks haven't been playing well. They're fighting. It seems like, we've talked about this before, it seems like the Ducks and the Kings rivalry hasn't been as hot. It seems like it's more been the Sharks, and especially Arizona, too. And just overall a good game. The Ducks took it to the Sharks, and they did what they needed to do, Eddie, and they came back and won after losing to Philly.
Yeah, it's just no brainer. They should have beat the Sharks. Sharks, they had a few games that they got lucky on. I think the same thing. The other teams got complacent. But yeah, the Sharks are in a shit show right now. I love to see it. I'm sorry, I love to see it. I hate to see people's misfortunes, but the Sharks, screw them. I don't care. You guys can go downhill. You should bury your head in a thing. But yeah, it's good to see that. I love the fights, Mike. You know that. I love the physicality. I love the fights. The thing about the Sharks, though, like they're being more physical and they're dropping the gloves. Like they know they're a bottom feeder team and probably going to go down as one of the worst teams in NHL history. But their players, some of them have passion and they're willing to drop the gloves and fight. So that's one positive thing I can see from them. But yeah, it was a good win and I'm glad we beat the Sharks.
Yeah, and another team that we don't like is the Predators. The Ducks, after beating the Sharks, went on this quick back-to-back road trip. They played Nashville and then your second favorite team, Colorado. But they played against the Preds. They were actually down 2-0 in this game. They were able to rally back and win. Ended up being the sixth come-from-behind victory in the third period in the first 15 games of the season, which is an NHL record. Crazy. You talk about fights. Gudis got in a fight. He also got a goal and an assist. Got a Gordie Howe hat trick in this one. And, we talk about the Ducks coming from behind and doing all this stuff. And, we'll kind of talk about it in some of the next couple games after this. But they're able to do it again, Eddie. They weren't able to do it in Colorado and Florida. And I'll table that for a minute. But at least they were able to do it in this one. I don't know how long they can keep doing it, but man, the Ducks have been exciting. They've been able to come back in almost every game when they've been trailing in the third period.
Yeah, this comeback kids, but like you said, you can't sustain that the whole season. Like it's hockey. It's 82 games. It's a rough sport. Once they get closer to playoffs, more teams are more geared. They know who's real, who's not. Back then, last season, they thought, Ducks, you walk over there, you can just do whatever. You can get drunk the night before, play hungover, and beat the Ducks. But the Ducks have no quit this season, so teams are going to catch on to that quick. It's not going to happen. I keep saying I'm not trying to bust anyone's bubble. I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly, but this Ducks team isn't ready for the playoffs. And I know a lot of people are excited because what's going on right now, but they're not a playoff team. Like, we have to stop and understand that. And like this coming back from behind here and there, it's not going to work the whole season. Like teams are going to get better. Trade deadline, they're going to bring more assets, and no, it's just we have to just be proud that the Ducks are improving in all their categories, and they're just poisoning themselves to be a really superstar and potential to be a Stanley Cup contender each and every season. So we can get that. But yeah, Mike, it was great to see them beat the Preds. It was great to see a Gordie Howe hat trick. I was trying to look up too. I couldn't find it. How many Gordie Howe hat tricks has Gudis had in his career? Because Gordie Howe himself only had 2. And I was trying to see how many Gordie Howe hat tricks the Ducks had in a season from a player, and I couldn't find that either. So if you guys are listening, you guys can find that information out. Go ahead and send it to us. Send it to us, and we'll send you something because I can't find it. So if you guys can find it, send it to us, and I'll definitely make sure you guys get rewarded for you doing the research for us.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's one of those stats that's hard to research. I actually haven't looked it up, but it's funny that you bring up the fact that Gordie Howe himself only did it twice. You would think, like it's named after him, he would have done it like 10, 15 times, right? And I remember hearing that before, that he's done it just 2 times. I was kind of shocked, but with Gudis, I don't know. It might have been only his first time. I don't know. We'd have to go look and see. Like you said, I've never really researched it, so I don't want to say it and be wrong. You know what I mean, Eddie? Because we get blown up if we put on the wrong stats.
Yeah, well, I know he had one before, so I'm not sure like how many total he had like in his career. But
so
Gudis,
at least 2.
Yeah, so Gudis is I love him. He's awesome. Like everything he brings to the team, the energy. I think he's playing some of his best hockey he's been playing. it's a good fit. This fit was perfect for the Ducks. It's just awesome, and he's just. It seems like he loves playing here, and we love having him. And like your wife said to Mike, I want a Gudis jersey. I like that fits my style of play. So it's like, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna get her one. I'm waiting for those of you that are, waiting for the 30th anniversary jersey. It sounds like that they're gonna have it for sale at the team store within the next week or two. Don't quote me on it, but little birds, little ducks on the street telling me that they should be having them for sale pretty soon. So I'm gonna try and get her one of those and a Gudis one. I actually was kind of disappointed. I wanted to get her the orange jersey in it, but like the NHL is kind of weird because the Ducks aren't gonna wear the orange jersey this year. They can't make that jersey at the team store. So I don't know. Maybe Monkey Sports or Cool Hockey could, but there's kind of a limit.
Cool Hockey.
Yeah, there's kind of a limit at the Ducks team store, and it's not the employee's fault or anything either, too. So if you go in there and like you try to order a certain jersey and they can't make it, it's not up to them. It's up to the league. So Gudis is on the team this year, but they're not wearing the third orange, so they can't put him on the third orange. I don't know. It's some weird thing with the NHL because I went in there and I was going to try and get an orange third surprise. My better half, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, you can't do it because we're not wearing it this season, and it's a league thing." So I was like, "Ah, that kind of sucks." So, but yeah, she loves Gudis. She's all about him and his style of play, and like you said, Eddie, the way he fits this team, it's been working out great. He's been scoring goals and getting assists and fighting and hitting and just all the passion that he brings. Even in this game against the Predators when he, got that goal, there's that photo we posted and everybody posted too of him, just screaming, and everything. And it was just amazing. That game was amazing. Especially against the Predators, because the Predators, it's Nashville. It is what it is. We don't like them just like we don't like the Sharks. So it was good to see the Ducks win that game. But and they put together 2 wins, but then of course they go to play Eddie's second favorite team, the Avs, and they did not play well in the beginning of this game. They were again just like in Nashville. They were down by 2 goals heading into third, but the Avs just they laid it out on the third. A couple quick goals to start that period. Jones got a goal to get the Ducks kind of back in there a little bit, but then they added 2 more goals. Like it was like 22 seconds or something like that. And then the Avs just rolling, man. It was back to back, but whatever. I mean, they play a lot of back to back games, but this was the worst loss that the Ducks had this year. Obviously, losing 8-2. But I wasn't that upset. The Avs are a pretty elite team. And if you compare the way that the Ducks have played this year compared to last year, I'll take a blowout loss, in 15, 16 games. Whereas last year it seemed like every other game or every third game we were getting smoked. So I wasn't too upset. I thought they didn't play well to start. I thought that I was hoping they would come back in the third, but the Avs just too fast, too quick, too much skill. Eddie, you know a lot more about them than I do because you follow them as well. And the Ducks couldn't turn it up in the third period against them.
The Avs are probably one of the, I want to say, top or not top 3 teams in the NHL. Like if they win the Stanley Cup, I wouldn't be surprised. They're so talented. They can score from everywhere they have. I'm surprised the goalie hasn't scored. The only thing of the Avs I could say is I'm not sold on Georgiev. I don't think the Avs had a solid number 1 goalie in a long time. With Kemper and Grubauer, I can't see them being that, like, those goalies to take them to the next level. They rely more on their heavy offensive offload and their defensive skill. The goalies are, in my opinion, Georgiev's a B goalie still. I watching the Avs games too. I don't see him, but we had taken consideration the Ducks had travel. They had a game before. Come into Colorado and that elevation, it really screws you up. Like I grew up there. Well, I didn't grow up there. I was stationed there for 4 years. I go back there here and there, but I went back there like last week and that elevation screwed me up a little bit. Like I was like, I first got there, I started feeling weird, lightheaded. I'm like, holy shit, like what's going to go on? I had to like chug a few beers just to kind of like subsidize that. But Man, that elevation kills you, especially when you have a back-to-back game. It's not easy. It's hard. And the Avs are definitely an elite team. So, I mean, you can't hold this game against them. Avs have been getting steam lately. They beat the shit out of Seattle, and they kept them down. Their defensive game is getting better. They kept Seattle under shots, too. So, it's like, it didn't surprise me. I mean, it kind of surprised me that the coaching staff left Dostal in there after those goals. Like, I understand Gibson's tired, but, like, dude, you can't let your goalie out to hang to dry. You have to, like, if it's that many goals, pull him. And I'm more biased, too, because I have Dostal on one of my fantasy teams, so that kind of irritated me, too. But, no, it's just, you can't be mad about this game. Like, it's the worst game they play, but they're playing against the Avalanche. Like, you really can't get upset about this. Avalanche are a great team. It's like putting Ducks against Boston or one of our Vegas. Like, they're high elite teams, and they know how to score from all four lines and all three defensive lines. And what the Avalanche do is they have no quit. I mean, Nathan McKinnon only had 2 assists that game. That's it, 2 apples in an 8-2 game. So everyone else was scoring. They fire from all directions. So it was just one of those things where reality came back to the Ducks. And it's like, okay, yeah, we're not, we won a few games. We came back from behind. We had this streak. But no, reality comes. You're not that team ready for the next level yet. But they are. And I can't wait till the Ducks gets to that level. They're going to be so... Mike, I keep telling you, they're so dangerous. This team's going to be elite, crazy. Everyone's going to be jumping on the bandwagon. All those people, those wannabe Ducks fans that don't watch games anymore because the Ducks are bad, they're going to be jumping over there. And, I've been a Ducks fan since this time, but blah, blah. This Ducks team's they're going to have a lot of cups coming their way. It's crazy how the development for the players that are going and how they bounce back in the next game too after getting spanked like that. I love to see it. Yeah, they didn't have that. Well, we can wait until we talk about Florida. Okay, we'll transfer into Florida. Ducks played Florida last night, so we'll talk about that. The Ducks had a chip on their shoulder, and I loved it. The first 2 periods, Mike, were horrible. I was like, okay, the first period was more like, it was like filling each other out. Just like the first date you had when you're 13 years old. You just do that little filling moment. But Florida kind of I guess the Ducks assumed that Florida was going to be tired from the California trip, playing San Jose 2 nights before, playing the Kings the night before. And no, Florida just didn't have any quitting. They had Brandon Montour back. They had... what's the other guy? I can't remember his name right now. But they had another player back that came in. Yeah, you had him back. So that's like everyone's like getting all fired up for that. Stolar's playing his old team, so I know his team wants to win for him. And yeah, they came to play. The Ducks didn't wake up until the third period. They finally woke up and they were dominant. But Mike, go ahead. We can talk about the third period now. Honestly, Mike, like people listening to this show right now, they don't care about the first and second period. I mean, we can ask them next week what happened. No one's gonna remember anything but the third period, so we can.
Yeah. So they're in person again watching this game, and Eddie's right. Just like the Avs game, the Ducks didn't play well in the first 40 minutes. And the Ducks were again down by 2. It seems to be a common theme that they're down by 2 a lot in the second period or beginning the third. And Eddie's right. They turned it on the third period. You had Frank the Tank getting his team leading 12th goal on there. And then you had Silverberg on a wraparound that at first watching it live, I didn't think he scored. It looked like, Stolarz had made the save. Then, and then there's like pandemonium, right? Because the people sitting down low, because I sit up high in the cheap seats, so I'm like, and the angle that I was at was on the other side from where I'm sitting, so I couldn't really tell. But you hear everyone else jeering and cheering and going nuts. Then, of course, they go to do the replay, and they do the replay with those little tiny iPads, which don't get me started on that. But, then they show the replay on the big screen, and we're all going nuts because we see the overhead. You see the puck go in under the crossbar. It hits Stoley's pad and comes back out. And when you're watching it, there's a little bit of space there between the red line and the puck when you see it on the big screen. So everybody was like, oh yeah, this is a goal, this is a no-brainer. You could see even the Florida players on the bench, they thought it was a goal. So the review took like 4 or 5 minutes. It took forever. And then they come back and they're like, it's no goal. And then, like, one thing I have to give credit to is the fans this year. You guys were nuts, dude. They just started chanting, "Ref, you suck," like, for the rest of the game. Like, it was just insane. JoJo was trying to get the crowd going, and he's like, yeah, let's go Ducks. Everyone's like, nah, ref, you suck. And it was just like, everybody was legit pissed off, and rightfully so. The thing is, on this, I know a lot of people were mad at the refs there at the game, obviously, but they didn't make the final decision. It was the war room in Toronto. Doesn't make it any better, but just so you know, that's what ended up happening. Is it went over there and they reviewed it, and I kind of sat on it. I was really upset. I did like the way that the Ducks kept pushing. I thought that they were going to get another goal and tie it up anyways, because they were just all over Florida that third period. I really, really, really felt in my heart that they were going to be able to tie that game, and they didn't after the goal was taken away, right? But I went back and looked, everyone's posting photos. I'm looking at video. I came home after the game. I rewatched it on TV, posted some stuff. And don't shoot me for this, but I could see the argument on the overhead where people were saying, hey, you zoom in, it's grainy, the red line, you're not 100%, you can't see it. I get some of that. People are arguing, saying, well, it's not conclusive because of that. I'm like, okay, we can argue about that, right? But then you see the shots from the front of the net. And from the front of the net, the puck is sideways against Stoley's pad, and the pad is in the fucking net. And there's a space between the pad and the puck and the red line on the shot from the front. And then some people are like, well, they shouldn't look at that view. No, screw you. The War Room has 5,000 fucking cameras. That view right there, it's a goal. I don't care what you say, whatever. There's other people talking about the Palax, whatever fucking effect. No, the puck wasn't flat on the ice, you dipshits. It was on its side against his pad, and there's space there in between on that. So you can argue the overhead view, and you can say, oh, I can't see the red line, it's grainy. Sure, I'll go with you on that. But once you look at the front view, that puck's in the frickin' net. I'm sorry. That was a goal. The Ducks got fucking screwed big time. Now, I'm not saying they should have won. They should have gone to overtime, whatever. But they absolutely scored 2 goals in this game, period, Eddie.
No, well fucking said, Mike. Holy crap. Let me go off on it now. Hell yeah. I love the passion. But yeah, that was the most bullshit. I saw on Twitter other people from different fan bases even agreeing that was a goal. Like, I saw one person that was a Kings fan. He had a Kings thing on his profile picture. He goes, I hate the Ducks, but that was a goal. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, I don't understand why this league is just going shit downhill. Like, I don't know if they're just trying to alienate fans. They want to I don't know what's going on. It's so dumb. Like, seeing the videos, so many angles. And if it's grainy, hello, it's 2023. How is it grainy? I've seen people, videos on Facebook that have people have, like, their surveillance cameras in their homes to have better surveillance. Like, how do you not see that? That's just bullshit. It's crap. Like, I don't know. It seems like I'll be conspiracy theory. It seems like the whole league has a script, and like Ducks can't win. They have to have Florida. They have to like kind of designate who's going to be in the playoffs. The more profit. Obviously, the Ducks are the lower tier team for profitable stuff. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking outside the box, but dude, that pissed me off. You know what, Mike? I told you offline. I was cool. I was seeing my mom today for our Thanksgiving dinner. She moved to Arizona, so I wanted to see her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna have a few drinks. That's it. After that non-goal, that call back to goal, whatever. I called Uber Eats and I got more beer and I got drunk because I was pissed off. My article, guys. I haven't written an article in a while. I just I tweet it too. It's like it's my dad passed. I just haven't been myself, but it felt good to. I guess like the only positive thing about that is I got that passion and that fire. I got fired up and I wanted to write and it felt good to write. But that was such bullshit. Like, I can't believe that was no goal. And then you have the even some Florida fans too, Mike. I don't know if you saw If you want to, some Florida fans even said that was a goal. And you have some idiots that don't even know what the hell they are telling you, oh, it was a goal. It was a goal. Like, idiot, you can't even freaking distinguish a goal right now. Like, it's just so bullshit. This comes to my question at Tomo_WB. He asked, what is going on with the state of the refs this season? So many bad calls and controversy. Tomo, they're a piece of shits. Like, I don't know what's going on. They're doing drugs, and once I get enough money in my life where I don't have to work and have to worry about it, I'm going to go hang out with the refs and do the drugs they're having, because I don't know what the hell they're seeing. They're just horrible, and I mentioned too, and I don't want to wish pain and hurt anyone, but if I were playing, and I've done it before, I would shoot the puck right in their freaking mouth and break some of their teeth. Like, hey, start calling this game right. Start calling the game fair. Hockey had such a prestige thing against every other sport of being different. It seems like hockey's declining, and they want to be like basketball and football, and it's not going to work for them. And they want to just appease to the new crowd, but like, what about the people that have been there since the beginning? And it's totally bullshit, and it was a horrible call. Like you said, Mike, and I agree with you. The Ducks probably had no business in winning this game the way they played. But that goal should have been 2-2. And you know what? I want to call it the Ducks too. You guys were awesome. Your social media team posting the thing say Ducks lost 2-2, and you deleted it out of fear. That's just fucking terrible. Like, have some backbone. Like, come on. Like, say crap. Like, I get this whole society is so sensitive, but keep that tweet. That was the right tweet to do, and you shouldn't have deleted it. But I'm pretty sure the league is pressuring you. Another thing, Mike, too, by the way, one of my sources told me the Ducks are getting fined, and a suspension's coming, and they might lose their first-round pick, Mike. Wild Wing was spotted wearing a Hockey Fights Cancer jersey, and apparently that's against people. I guess people, fuck it, I'll say it. People's standards, like, they want to kind of exclude that shit. Like, teams can't wear a Hockey Fights Cancer jersey. That's fucking bullshit. It's just dumb. But I guess I'm done with my little rant. So I'll kind of end this before I pass it off to you, Mike, on a positive note. I do want to give a shout out to one of my best friends, Lauren Boardman. She lost her dad on Wednesday from bone marrow cancer. So that kind of sucks. I've known her. She was my girlfriend back in high school when we were like 15. And she's my best friend now. I grew up with her family. She lost her mom from cancer too. So I want to just give a shout out to her and send my love and prayers to her and her family. Mike, especially your dad beating cancer, and your sister-in-law is in the battle with it. So I want to just give my love and prayers to you. And if you guys listening, if you guys pray or whatever, or just send your love to my friend Lauren and Mike and his family.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Eddie. Yeah, my dad had a couple years ago had prostate cancer, and he beat it. And now my sister-in-law has it, and she's going through and dealing with it right now. And honestly, in the last couple years, I don't know. We don't on social media. I don't try to get too personal. A lot of it I just keep to the team and the sport of hockey and kind of what we're doing and what we're seeing and stuff like that. I try not to get too into stuff like that. We usually reserve it for the show. And yeah, I mean, in the last 3 years, I've lost several friends to cancer, sadly. And it sucks to hear about Lauren's, dad and then, of course, her mom. That's just rough losing. You and I both lost a parent, and then you lose two parents to cancer. I mean, that's extremely tough. It's just tough. And I don't know, during the game, I just felt like, because it was that Hockey Fights Cancer, and I felt like posting something about it, which I usually don't, but I don't know. I try to be positive when it comes to things dealing with life events and things like that. And Eddie and I know that we or people that know us, I should say, that we're always there to talk to people and help people out. We've both been through difficult times. I had my mom that had an aneurysm and almost died, and ended up, it's a long story, but I took care of her for 10 years before she passed away, and she was a big Ducks fan. And and I know there's a lot of you out there with similar stories with friends and family and things like that. So that's the reason why I kind of post those things, is just to let you guys know that are listening that, you're not alone. There's other people that are out there that have dealt with stuff. It's good if you can find those people and connect and share your stories and build a little bit of a bond and maybe ease the pain a little bit and whatnot. So that's kind of why I threw that out there during the game and whatnot. So just a little side note there with the Hockey Fights Cancer thing, if any of you are going through that and dealing with it. But back to the game.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm glad you did that, Mike. That was a really powerful statement. I'm glad that you did that. It's just, we're all human and we all go through the same things. And I'm pretty sure other people that saw that, you saw your tweet and read it, they felt the same way. And just like, I don't know, like for me, like when you posted that and I saw that, it made me feel better. Like, cause I haven't been doing that well this week. I've been, for some reason, my dad and hearing about like my friend Lauren's dad, it kind of like messed me up a little bit. But seeing that, it's like, okay, someone else is kind of going through like what I'm going through, and it helps. So it's like, it made me I think that if I get to that point where I need to talk to someone, I can contact you and not bother you. Which it's you're never a bother, you're my brother, but it was a really good post and it was from the heart. So I think it was appreciated. And if you have things like that, you should post it more. I think our fans and everyone else would appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I just felt like posting it. Just it's been rough, honestly. Probably the last 3-4 years, we've lost a lot of friends to cancer, co-workers and whatnot, and other friends and things. And yeah, it's just I don't know. I try not. I don't know what it was. I just kind of felt like talking about it or posting about it. I usually don't, but yeah. So just know that you're not alone, and if you ever need someone to talk to, Eddie and I are here to talk about those kind of things. Back with the game, the thing. This was a kind of a funny comment because it reminds me of my mom. And as y'all know, she's gone. But Rem_Yar is like, did you think the officials in Toronto had a hot date they wanted to get to? And I just laugh at that comment because that's something my mom would always say too. Whenever the Ducks got screwed on a call or something, it's just funny. It kind of makes me cry and laugh at the same time because that's just something she would always say. She's like, Mike, the refs had a hot date tonight. They don't want the Ducks to tie this game up, And I don't know what it is. I just think about that and I laugh because she used to say that all the time. It's just pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know if it was that so much. But like Eddie said, I don't know, with the stuff in the war room and betting and the things that go on with sports, I don't know. I just, it's frustrating. But the bigger picture to all this that's frustrating is we have a solution. We have technology. Like, we could do better to get these right, Eddie.
You said it, and I just thought about the betting. That's the betting line. People make a lot of money if certain teams win, under, over goals. I didn't think about that. Like, I should have thought about that because over there, when I was in Colorado, my buddy Adam and I were betting on everything. we were drunk betting on everything. DraftKings too. Like, I wanted to give them a shout out. Like, I couldn't get my account set up because I wasn't a Colorado resident and all that. So I was giving my buddy money, but we bet on everything. But there, it's just like the NHL. It seems like when you go to the app and everything, it's all about betting the sports line, and they can lose a lot of money or gain a lot of money if certain teams win. That smells corruption. I'm not saying that's the case. Like, there's no proof, but I mean, if I owned a business and it's all about money, I mean, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. And sorry to interrupt you too, but that was really something that we I didn't think of. But that's something we had to take into consideration. Now the NHL is so about betting. You have Washington Capitals with the Bet MGM. You go on the NHL app, it's like they give you the money lines, they give the bets. It's nuts. You go on fantasy hockey now, they give you the betting thing too. So that's a good factor to do. So who knows? Like, I'm not sure. I have to look into that. But if the big bet was like, hey, the Ducks, will lose. Florida under certain goals. The league can stand to lose money if it doesn't go their way. So that's a good point to bring up.
Yeah, I saw some people post stuff about it. I don't remember what the line was or whatever, but I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And like, the stuff, the thing is the big picture. This stuff could be avoided. Like, you watch like Mission Impossible, right? They have crazy ass cameras that like go in pins and hats and ties and all kinds of funky shit, right? Like, you can't put cameras in the posts and the crossbar. You can't put sensors like in the goal line or the puck. Like, I mean, come on, there's technology that they could do that this would be a no-brainer. And you would have seen in that play that if they had a sensor where if the puck breaks the plane, right, in the goal, that it counts as a goal, that it would have been, or that the puck itself has some kind of chip or sensor in it. I mean, there's technology. They could easily fix it and have that not be a problem, I mean, you have the issue. I mean, it's gone on before. We saw it in the playoffs last year. We've seen it a couple of seasons before. You've seen it where, especially when goalies have black pads, right? And they stack the pads and the puck's under the pads. And I mean, the pads are stacked on the line, so you don't see the puck because the pads are black. I mean, right? I mean, that's one thing that some goalies have talked about doing is like, oh, yeah, you got to have black pads. It's a little bit of an advantage. I mean, there's stuff like that all over it. So to me, the bigger thing is how do you avoid this? Well, I mean, we have the technology. Like start implementing it. Like fix it. Like I don't know. It just seems like a simple fix to me, where we wouldn't have to zoom in on photos and then have these arguments on social media about, well, it's 90% across the red line, but there's a little piece of it hanging on the red line. Like, that's what some people are arguing. And oh, by the way, the Oiler fans, you guys are hilarious. You guys still are sour about the comeback on Catella. Like, I couldn't believe it. When I posting the stuff about this thing, Oiler fans came out of nowhere and started attacking me, like, big time on
they eat a bowl of fucking dicks. Like, they suck, and they're terrible. Yeah. Like, worry about your own team. You'll never win a Stanley Cup because your team's pathetic. You guys can't even freaking... McDavid was gifted to you. You guys... I guarantee Drysdale was gone after his contract's over. I would not be on that shit show. And you know what? I've never really met an Oilers fan that was... I have a few on Twitter that are cool, but the rest are just complete piece of shit. It's like, you guys, like, I don't know what your deal is. If you're not freaking getting enough pleasure over there or whatnot, if it's illegal to masturbate in Edmonton. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, crossing the line, but... Dude, like, I don't know why Edmonton are so sour. You guys lost the game. You guys gave it 3 goals. Even if you want to cry about that last goal to tie it, you still gave up 2 goals. You guys are never going to win a Stanley Cup. You guys are worthless. I'm sorry. Like, don't bring it on us. Drysdale will be gone soon, and McDavid will probably soon be follow, and you guys will be there in the bottom of the barrel with the league giving you first-round picks that you'll screw up again.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's just they're coming out of the woodworks, like if something happened to the Oilers on some other player, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't go on social media and like try to like see when a bad call is against another team and then go in there and start trolling their fans. Like, I don't know. I got more things to do with my life. I just thought it was funny because they started coming out of the woodworks that night and then following day, and I was just like, okay, whatever, guys. Like, they're just trying to say all kinds of crap and stuff, but whatever. So that's just my thing. I think that they could use better technology to avoid this. So we're recording the show also before the St. Louis game, so we'll get to that game on the next show. But we've already gotten close to an hour. It's been a blast of a show. But the other big part this week, and another thing that I'm not happy about, is the update that came out on Drysdale and Zegras. They had those quotes on there. Eric Stevens asked Cronin about the training camp and missing training camp, and he was talking about how it was a factor. And then he talked about the area being affected between the knee and the chest area with Drysdale and Zegras. And then in the same thing saying that, he doesn't know exactly where the injury is and all this stuff. I don't know. Now they're both on the IR. They added Zegras on there. It's, quote, tricky when they're both going to come back. I don't like to normally speculate about injuries, but this time I'm going to, because this part drives me nuts. I can't stand the NHL and their lack of information with injuries. All the other major sports talk about whatever players got. NHL is upper body injury, lower body injury. It's like, come on, guys. So to me, and this is just speculation because I don't know, but I think it's a hernia or a groin issue with both of them, one or the other, or maybe they both have the same thing. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, because he's talking about from the chest to the knee. That's what I think, and it's saying, and those are two injuries that don't necessarily have a specific timetable. So that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know what you think about it, Eddie, but I'm just kind of frustrated because they just they just don't ever tell the specifics. It just drives me nuts with the NHL. It's like, come on, guys. Like, I get it, you're trying to protect players from certain things, but I mean, football is a brutal sport, and they talk about elbow injury, knee injury, hip injury, whatever. They don't hide this crap. There's none of this upper lower body crap, and I don't know. It just boggles my mind that they talk about this, and it's also frustrating too, because we're missing these two guys, and we don't know when we're going to get them back, Eddie.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of on the fence on it, and then something I can disagree with you. I mean, like, personally, I don't think it's anyone's business what's injuries going on. I mean, yeah, as a fan, I want to know what's going on. As a fantasy owner, because I take my fantasy hockey very, very seriously, and I want to talk about the fantasy hockey later on in league news. But yeah, it's just, I think Cronin is one of those guys. Like I told you before, he's a scary guy. Like, I wouldn't want to screw with him. And I don't think he likes talking to the media and like answering the same questions, stuff like that. Maybe he should have gave more of an update, but I mean, I think he's doing it more to protect the players and kind of respect them in that aspect. So I'm fine with him being really ambiguous about the injuries. It was funny, it's just injury from here to there, but obviously Z hasn't been playing to his potential. Drysdale is, I don't want to say disappointment, but he hasn't really, he's been more injured than he has producing, and it sucks because he's a fan favorite, especially with the ladies. A lot of girls like him, but yeah, I guess we can disagree on this, Mike. Where I think it's okay with him being kind of hush about this and not really giving us more of an update and being ambiguous about the injuries.
Well, I was happy he at least gave a range. I mean, he did say between the knee and the chest. So, I mean, I was at least happy with that.
Well, the knee and chest is just like...
I know, it's vague.
Took a Viagra and it didn't go down like...
I know, it's vague. It's just funny because he says that area, then he's like, well, then I don't know. I'm like, oh, God, come on, man. Like...
Well, yeah, I know it's frustrating for you, too, because, like, you run DucksNPucks and you're... you're an analyst too. Like, you want to put the information out for fans and everything. So I get it. It's frustrating, but
yeah, it's just that. I mean, but you're right. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, at least they're telling us what's. At least we're getting some info. Some is better than none. You know what I mean? I guess that's the way I'll look at it. But I think it's interesting because now it's sparked. The other part of it is it sparked controversy. Now we had. BDROCHNER on Instagram is like, what about these trade rumors with Zegras? Is Drysdale going to be someone that's going to be able to be healthy long term? We had Justin Anderson 9009 also on Instagram. Like, what are these theories on Zegras? They were like always day to day, and then he goes, he says no word, but obviously we found out that he was on the IR shortly after that, and I don't, that part I don't believe any of that crap. I don't believe there's any trade rumors right now with Zegras, nor even with Drysdale. I don't even think that's even anything. I think people that are talking about that are full of it. I think that they're just doing it to get clicks, to say that, hey, there's this, and that, and oh, they might go to this team or that team. I really don't. I don't think GM Verbeek is shopping either one of those guys. I think that they're legitimately trying to get them rest and try to get better and get healthy. And it kind of goes back to the point that you talked about, Eddie, and another question we had. We talked about this on last show too, but we had Joe, CAEL _ Joe, what are some of the changes that need to happen to make the playoffs? And we've talked about that, if they would make the playoffs or not. And we've kind of gone back and forth. Eddie's more on the side that they won't. I'm more on the side that they might squeeze in there. But we're both in agreement that they're not going to be a contending team, at least this season. So I think that factors in with Drysdale and Zegras. If these guys both have these injuries, and like I said, it's speculated of what we said they were, but if they have these injuries and the timetable is up in the air, then you know that this team isn't going to be a contending team. Why rush both of them back to get hurt? Because that's exactly what Cronin was saying in his quote about training camp. He felt like they both missed training camp. Specifically, Drysdale, he said, came back like a bat out of hell, trying to give it his all when he said, hey, maybe he should have started, a little bit of a lower gear, like, 60, 70, 80%, somewhere in there, as opposed to coming in at 100 plus or whatever. And he felt that Zegras may have done the same thing. So if they did that then, and they're, trying to get healed up, why rush them back? And just to have them get hurt again, especially in a season where, hey, we know we're not going to go for the Stanley Cup. Let's just be real. We know that. We maybe we do squeeze into the playoffs, which I've said we might be able to do that. But even then, I mean, these two guys just signed their 3-year deals. They're both very young. I mean, if they're going to miss 10, 20 games this season, I mean, it sucks. But, I mean, the coach said in his quote, too, you got to be patient with it. And that part, I'm actually really happy with what the organization for Beek and Cronin are doing. There's no need to throw these guys back out there. You already had, Zegras was not 100%, apparently from a couple reports out there. He was playing somewhat hurt to begin the season. We know Drysdale was now, and he only was out there a short time. So that's kind of where I look at it with a lot of your fan questions and stuff. A, I don't think they're shopping him to be traded, and I just think that B, they're just trying to be patient because there's no need to rush them. We're not going for the Stanley Cup this year, and that's how I feel about the situation with both of them, Eddie.
Definitely, yeah, you're right, Mike. You hit it on I can't even I can caveat on that, but you hit every mark you can. I mean, this is an unpopular decision from my point of view. I don't see Zegras being long term for the Ducks at all. I think once his time is up, or even close to that, I think he's gonna leave. The Ducks is just his personality and everything, and what Matthew Tkachuk did with the Flames. He let them know he wasn't gonna sign long term. I can see that with Zegras. He probably wants to go back to home, New York, play for his hometown team. It's just it's different now in NHL. There's no loyalty, and they want to do what they want to do. And I can say in this show, you guys can quote me on this, and if I'm right, I'll send you guys a jersey. I'll send you guys 2 jerseys. But I have a feeling that I don't think he's going to be long term for the Ducks. Especially his personality, and he's really charismatic. But I think it's nowadays these young kids coming in, they have more control than we think. So that's my whole point of view of that. I hope I'm wrong, but I mean, it's just I can read between the lines, and it seems like it's gonna happen.
I mean, it is a good point that you bring up, and I've had people tell me similar things that you have said about him fitting with the team, and how and that was part maybe of why the contract didn't get signed right away. So it's something to monitor. I mean, I see him still being on the team this year. Like I see Drysdale, we'll see how they heal up and play. Do I think either one of them get traded down the road? I don't know. I mean, we'd have to see. But I think we'll know more once we get probably to the 3rd year of each of their contracts. We'll see where the Ducks are in a couple seasons. We'll see, how everything's going. Because this whole year is obviously new coaches and filling out and all that stuff. But long term, like you're talking about, Eddie, especially with Z, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he will be there long term. And I know a lot of the female audience is going to be upset because they really love Zegras and Drysdale. But I don't know.
You know what? Mike, too, I wish I had that attraction. I wish I was that hot like Zegras. for the female. It's like, man, I go to the bar and try. But I wish I could just walk in there with his flow, his nice, beautiful eyes. Hey, what's up? And I'm over here like, trying to try. Like, damn it. I play beer league, girl. I scored 2 goals last game.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
No. The whole thing is just I'm observing and then taking into consideration other players of his caliber, and Z just, unless Anaheim really makes a big stride, which I know they're going to, but I think Z is just more of he's an outlier, and he wants to do his own thing, and I really think he wants to play for his home team. I mean, it's not bad playing for New York. I mean, if he's that good that he'll make the money. New York is expensive, but I really can't, especially the whole contract negotiations too. Probably put a little divot in that, but
yeah, we talked about that too before on the last couple shows this season. That's another thing to look at is you had both of these delays in the contract. And I've already seen people now doing the blame game too on social media. They're getting mad at Verbeek and the Ducks management because they're like, hey, you didn't sign them right away. They came into training camp late. They tried to get up to speed, and now they're hurt. If you would have signed them before and they would have started training camp like everyone else, this wouldn't have happened, which that's may or may not be true. That's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, they're both young guys too, and Drysdale was already hurt from before. Though it sounds like it's something different, obviously. But I don't know. I think that's a debatable point, but it's unfortunate because, as you're talking about, Eddie, is it leaves in this little bit of consternation between the players, their agents, and the team and whatnot. That maybe right now it's been healed up, but long term, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So definitely something to keep an eye on. But overall, I think the Ducks are doing the right thing. We're still exciting team to watch this year. They've gotten better at the power play. They've gotten better at the penalty kill. They're scoring more goals. Yes, we don't want to be behind every time in the third period, but overall, everything I've seen so far this year, it's still leaps and bounds of everything I thought that we would achieve. Who would have thought that they would have had 6, come from behind wins in the first, 2 months of hockey, basically, or less than 2 months of hockey. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So I still think the Ducks are making a lot of strides this season. I think they got to do some tweaking, some things, maybe with some of the lines. I know we had a question about that too, about, how can we make the Ducks a little bit better? I think they need to do that. I feel like Terry's kind of been inconsistent. I think he could be a little bit better. Obviously, they're shaking up the lines here and there because Carlson's coming in and out. We've talked about that ad nauseum. Zegras is now out, so there's a little bit of chemistry issues there, I think. But overall, I'm happy. I mean, it's exciting to go see them play, even when they lose. They're in every single game, even when they're behind. Even against Colorado, I mean, they ended up getting blown out towards the end there, but I thought at the beginning of the third that I'm like, okay, they still have a chance. They get a goal, they're down by 1. You still feel that with the team. So I guess that's just my little final thought before we go to the league news is there's still room to grow, obviously, but overall, I'm still really optimistic about what we've been seeing so far, Eddie.
Definitely. I love watching Ducks hockey. I love it before. I don't care if they're 0-82. I love the Ducks. I love the camaraderie. I love the fans. Like I go to the games. Like I always find someone to talk to. Mike, I love talking to you. Like you're my brother. I don't care if I stop being a Ducks fan or whatever. It's just like you're awesome. But yeah, Ducks have been really improved. This is the best season we had in so many years of their play, their improvement, their special teams. So it's really awesome. So it's good to see. So Mike, you know what? I wanted to make a proposition for you.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this, and I didn't tell you this. So this is like live on the spot. So fantasy hockey, or DucksNPucks fantasy hockey. You and I have yet to play each other head to head.
What's up with that?
I think we're going to be like week 12, 13, or 14. So we have some time. So my thing is, let's do something for the fans. Your team Eddie, your team Mike, and let's once we have that thing situated and we're going to play each other, we have fans go in. They can tweet they can tweet Team Eddie, Team Mike. They can Instagram Team Eddie, Team Mike. Whoever wins that week, then we'll pick a fan that picked the winner of that week, and we'll send him a jersey.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, no, that definitely sounds good. I got a couple extra lying around that we were talking about doing giveaways anyways. So
yeah, and I've never. This is your first time in fantasy, so I never went one-on-one with you in fantasy.
No, I because I think I was looking at my stuff for fantasy hockey because I've played fantasy football like forever, and I played fantasy hockey like one time like a long time ago, but never since you and I have been doing it. So. I'm down with that. I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, so when you and I have that versus that week, then we'll make a big giveaway and let the fans choose Team Eddie, Team Mike. And honestly, Mike, by the way, if fans choose you, they're wrong because I know I'm going to beat your ass in fantasy that week.
you probably will, man.
I won't. You have a good team. You have Brady Kachuk. That was my goal.
I mean, my team's okay. I just don't. I have goalie issues, you know. It's like, ugh.
Same with me. I would make a mistake.
I know. I don't know. We're both like. I think you're like 10th or 11th or something, and I'm 12th or 13th. I mean, we're right there on our playoff. Yeah. So
Jay Schultz is number 1 right now in our league.
Dude, he's like killing it. Yeah. Whatever that guy is, I seen his record. I'm like, good God. Like,
yeah, but you want to think? Oh, what's his league right now? Arctic Bums, I think he goes by. I can't see it right now, but he's always killing it too. But yeah, so and we'll make a bet and you know what, guys? That if you're in fantasy team watching looking at our podcast or listening to podcasts, let me know. Like, I'm down to make bets. Let's make a bet. If we go head to head. If you win, I win, we'll send you something. It's cool. But Mike, you and I, when we go head to head, we have to do that. Team Mike, Team Eddie.
Oh, for sure. I think it's going to be hilarious.
And fans would love that too. Fans would love that. People that you're playing hockey or fantasy hockey would love that. So, be awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. It would be a blast. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Man, we've a good show. We're kind of just a little, couple more controversial things, I guess, going on in the league. We'll wrap up the show with this, and then we'll get going. But Milan Lucic apparently was arrested for domestic violence and has taken a leave of absence from the Bruins. So there's a little bit of that going on, which I never really liked the guy. There's a I've never really liked the guy. I thought he was trash anyways. And there's a video, I think it's of Miller going around now on social media where he was talking bad on Lucic. And I'm not saying I'm surprised this happened, but I don't know. He's just one of those people that I got a bad vibe from. I just put it as that, just kind of intuition. So when this came out, I not saying I wish it would have happened, but I just was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I just see that guy, and he just seems like he's kind of an ass. So, I don't know. I'm curious what's going to happen with him though in this, whole thing, because we've talked about Chicago and the passes that they've gotten on a bunch of stuff. So I'm really curious to see how this pans out with him in Boston, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm not really a person that judges a book by its cover, and I'm not defending him whatsoever. If he really had these like allegations are proven, then fuck him. He should be out of the league. He should be done. You should never put your hands on a woman as a man, period. As a family man, but I don't know what's going on. I haven't I read and heard interviews, but yeah, it's just. I don't think like people think he's a bad guy that he is on the ice because of his role, and it's not fair to judge him for that. But
no, you're right. I agree with you on that. And yes, innocent until proven guilty for sure. I just kind of like saw that. I was like, oh, I wasn't like super surprised. That's all.
Yeah, oh man, I just want to extend my sincere my love to his family, his wife, and his kids. And like I said, if he's accused and he really did what he's accused of being doing, then screw him and fuck him. You never put your hands on a woman. I had to grow up watching my mom get hit from people, and I'm really a advocate about that. But yeah, it's a bad thing for the league. and we don't need this kind of crap. We're not football. We're not basketball where it's like it's normal over there for that league. And definitely leave him absent. I think at this point in his career, I think he should be done. That's it. Like done. Like you brought disgrace to the league, and I'm just like saying this right now. Like if he's like proven guilty, but regardless, like you still like something happened. Obviously, you were hurt, and I know painkillers and alcohol don't mix, and I'm not sure if that's the point in case, but it's not a good look for the league, and not a good look for women either. Like you can't do that. I don't care what it is. It's like
yeah, and
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say too. It's not like you talked about. It's not a good look, and it's like the one other little thing too that we want to talk about before we wrap up with like Logan Thompson. He's trying to put a cancer ribbon on his helmet, and the league's not letting him do that. That's another thing that's not a good look for the league. I mean, it's just kind of those things you alluded to it too early in the show about the cancer jerseys too, not being able to wear them in warm-ups. So it's just things that rub me wrong way. Like the stuff with Chicago, I think was all completely mishandled. It was a horrible situation. If Lucic is guilty, right, then yeah, I hope that they do like what you said, boot him out. But I don't know. I'm really curious. That's the only thing that disappoints me is I feel like some of these issues that go on with the league, I feel like it's selective enforcement, I guess is the way I'll put it. I don't know how else to put it, Eddie.
Yeah, perfect word. And I'm not trying to be over here like, oh, he's guilty, they'll prove him innocent, whatever. No, I'm looking at what I've been reading in the facts, and it sucks. And I had to grow up with, my mom was awesome, and she been through like domestic violence, so I really have a soft spot for that. But it's just, this league does not need this kind of bull crap and everything, but. And if he gets found guilty of it, I hope he never touches foot on the ice again. And I hope his family and his wife, they get the help they need and they can move forward from that. So I'm sending my love to them and my prayers to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Last thing really is just happy Thanksgiving. This is coming up this week. Time's flying. I feel like 2024 is it's almost here. Holy crap. But if you're listening to this, because the show's going to be posted the beginning of the week of Thanksgiving, so just want to hope everybody has a happy, safe holiday. And you guys have been awesome. I started redoing the Never Say Die shirts. I already got a bunch of orders. You guys are going nuts on that because we've been coming back in the third period. I'm going to have some purple or plum DucksNPucks hats coming our way too as another new thing. So doing some other new stuff and. Just keeping it rolling. So I love the excitement and the enthusiasm for you guys. I ran into a bunch of people at that game at Florida that came up to me and said hi, just random people. Other people that said they saw me and they were like afraid to say hi. I'm like, just say hi. It's
Oh, dude, you're fucking like 6 foot tall or 6'8" tall. Like, fuck,
yeah,
dude.
6'4". Yeah, 6'4". I'm a gentle giant, but yeah, no, if you see me, come say hi. If you see Eddie and I, come say hi. So I'll give it to you, Eddie, for any last words as we close out here.
Yeah, I just want to Thanksgiving. I want to say I'm thankful for you, Mike. You're my brother. Like I've never met someone like you. I can relate to and feel like from day one we've been number one. Like it's cool. I love that. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful for all the fans that keep giving us and pumping our tires and that keep watching our show or listening to our show and commenting and everything like that. And this year has been really hard for me and everyone has been there for me. Mike, you've been a pillar in my life. You and your wife were at my dad's funeral. That meant a lot to me and I really appreciate that. So I'm really thankful and just for Thanksgiving. And I'm thankful to have you and your wife and everyone else that's been there. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for you too. I mean, we've been having a lot of fun with the hockey stuff and the podcast and hanging out and chewing out the refs and dropping F-bombs and drinking beer and all kinds of stuff. So it's been great. and same with everybody out there. We've met a lot of people through this as well, and we appreciate the support and hanging out with you guys. It's been a blast. Again, I hope everybody you have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. We'll be back with another show sometime after that. We've kind of been doing it every 2 weeks, but we kind of put this one out a little bit early because obviously Thanksgiving week, and we're both really just busy with our schedules and whatnot. So, but again, appreciate your guys' support. We're thankful for every one of you, and let's go Ducks.